Hey YouTube, it's Mouthless Reptiles. We're going to start with Caleb chuckling today.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you turn on a video, you get the chuckles. It's just what happens. I do it. I do it too, man. You know what I think it is? I think it's looking at Kurt having to hold the camera. There's this big old long dildo thing sticking off after talking to, and that's just funny, isn't it? Now you're going to be seeing that the entire time we do this.
Thanks
Congratulations.
Thanks for that.
So today's video, Caleb, you've done a little research we're going to get into, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of involves, we went back to a show. How long has it been since Matt and Kurt didn't get to go. Kurt's working on building some shit. So it's been to a show. A long time. Like, Kurt, do you remember the last time we went to a show?
Denver, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe it was pre-COVID, I think. Right? And kind of what happened, we've been busy. We didn't really need shows for sales. I love shows. So I miss going. So I had the chance to go. I was like, fuck it, we're going to go. And off we went. Caleb, you went with me. We went to the show, had a great time, saw a lot of people, bought some cool stuff.
Yeah, we did.
And we'll show you the coolest thing on Patreon only.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you show that thing off on Patreon. It's cool as hell. I'll tell you guys at the end what it is. We're not going to show it unless you're on Patreon. I'll give you a hint. It's got 8 legs, but it can't kick hair.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a good hint. Maybe you'll figure it out. So what you're going to talk about here in a few minutes is the pricing point. Like the difference in show pricing versus like online prices like Morph Market, correct?
Yep.
And what we're kind of seeing there. And as you're doing that, we're going back and forth, I'm going to talk to you about some of the morphs that we saw at Kansas City, which is not a huge show. It's a good size show, but it's not, this isn't an ARBC show. This is not Tinley. This is not, like Fort, I keep wanting to say Fort Lauderdale. It's not Daytona Beach. It's not that. It's not Pomona. It's not one of those. It's just like a show you'd have in many cities. And Kansas City has a great show market because they do a lot of shows. It was a Show Me Reptiles show, who does a pretty good job, I'd say. They do a really good job. They do a lot of them in a lot of places. So what are some of the pricing points that you found that you wanted to share?
So really what kind of started it, too, was there was someone on Discord who went to a show Saturday, the day before we did, and they picked up some clown stuff that was dirt cheap. Like a year ago, that would have been $1,000 snake. They picked it up for like $300. And then there were some other people talking about pricing in their area. I think this was the Virginia area where prices were low compared to what Morph Market was. So I had mentioned to Matt we should keep an eye on that, and that'd be a good video to talk about price comparisons. And really, I was slightly disappointed based on what I had been reported on to about other expos. I was disappointed in the fact that I thought ours would follow the same suit. Ours didn't really. There was clowns. There actually wasn't a whole lot.
Not a whole lot?
But Batmans and stuff like that were at the $1,100, $1,200 range, which you still find that on Morph Market. Single gene clowns were in that $200 range.
Yeah, but $200 for a single gene clown is where it should be.
Yeah, I agree.
And as much as I throw a dick on the table and complain about clowns, $200 for a single gene clown is about right. Yeah. That's where it was pre-takeoff. And that's kind of where, to me, a recessive that's been around a long time, that's a common recessive, should kind of be. I think Ghost should be there. Ghost isn't, but I think Ghost should. That $200 to $400 range is kind of where those things should,
Yep. And so on the clown, there wasn't really anything that really struck me as, ooh, this is high, or compared to Morph Market, or ooh, this is low.
So you found clown to be kind of...
Clown was about average with the Morph Market, but it was low. It was high compared to what other people were seeing at shows. For instance, we saw a spot nose clown that was $850, and there was someone who picked one up on a show, and they paid like half that price. So Kansas, at a different show. So at Kansas, it seemed like the prices were staying consistent with Morph Market and weren't dipping below them on the clown side of things.
One thing I'd point out, though, is even if the price on a show is the same as the price on Morph Market, the show's cheaper.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is you're not going to pay that shipping bill. Now, some places will say, shipping included and whatnot, and that plays a role. And sometimes at a show, you can always talk to the breeder and see what happens.
Yeah. And then the other one that kind of stuck out with me was pieds. There was a good amount of pieds. I was actually impressed. Their prices were, again, pretty consistent. I saw some banana pieds for $4. Females were at $5, which is kind of what we've seen on Morph Market, a little bit higher.
Still crazy to me, but yeah.
We've seen some candy pieds and Tofino pieds
Yeah.
Those were, I think, priced at $1,000, maybe $1,500, depending on the sex, which I think is incredible because that's a double, technically triple recessive, because you're gonna have the candy albino.
Yeah. I mean, it's a
double hets.
Lelic combo, kind of like a Krypton pie would be. Yeah.
Yep. So that one was that again was pretty consistent and even with what Morph Market would be. The other one that really stuck out with me would have been the freeway highway stuff.
Oh my God.
There was
God.
a ton.
There was so much.
There was. I was impressed. I was surprised.
I was surprised too, and like I love freeway highway stuff. It looks beautiful. It's kind of a pain in the ass to breed. It also means you get a lot of yellow belly gravel. I saw a lot of super gravel.
Yep.
There was a lot of that out there. But if you were looking for freeway highway stuff, you
every table had at least 5.
You'd have whatever you wanted.
Yep.
And how did you feel about the prices on some of those?
I thought so. The prices were pretty. I don't want to say high. They were where I would think they should be for multi-gene highway freeways.
Yeah.
Morph Market, you can usually find them at the $700-800 price range. Here, we were finding them at the show for about $1,000. So not like a significant increase, but that is what to me that's where I think that price range is a good price on a freeway with a few genes.
Now, one thing I'd say too is with that show, and one thing I noticed there on some of those snakes you're talking about is a lot of them have some size to them.
Yeah.
That
does
you are
play
getting a little
role.
bit of a bonus because some of the ones we're talking about a little higher price. One of the tables, I can't think of the name, but it comes. I remember scanning it. They had probably 25 freeway combos. I bet the smallest one is 250 grams.
Yeah.
So you are, that is worth a little more than the one that's 80 grams.
No, I definitely agree.
But yeah.
Some morphs that I was surprised we didn't see a whole lot of. I didn't see a whole lot of Ultramel. I see that I've talked about a lot, but I think I saw maybe 5 or 6 total.
Wasn't a lot.
Price range on those were still, the single genes were like $300, $400 for males, which is about what you'll find on Morph Market. And again, you're going to find instances where someone has theirs higher or lower. Those I'm just considering as outliers. That happens.
So overall, you seem to have found the prices like pretty equal.
Compared to Morph Market. Again, but other shows, I was seeing the prices lower, which was interesting to me.
What would you think only talking versus Morph Market, okay, would have been the best deal on average at that show in Kansas City price-wise? Like if there's one combo or one thing that stayed like, man, that's a really good deal compared to what I've seen online, what would it be?
This one I'm going to say it because it's an outlier. But I thought it was a heck of a deal if there was a sunset at the expo. It
was that cheaper than Morph Market?
It was.
Okay.
By $1,400, which is why I think that is a killer deal because it was $1,400 cheaper.
And it was not just a sunset.
No, it was a Mojave sunset.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a stunning deal. Now, do I think at an expo in Kansas City a $3,000 animal is going to move quickly? Probably not. I think what we saw a lot of just sub $600 animals were moving.
Yeah, pretty well. Sub 600 moved pretty well.
There was still a couple. Like I did see some people with like a highway or freeway, whichever. I couldn't really see the label, but it really looked like anything sub 600 was moving quickly. Anything a little bit higher was taking some work, but you still saw some move.
Yeah,
and I think he's gonna sit on that sunset at a Kansas City show for a little bit.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, it only takes one buyer.
That's true.
And that's one of the things. This is also, I'm glad you brought that up, why we always talk about having that variety, especially when you go to a show.
Yeah.
If I have that snake, I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Because somebody's going to buy it eventually, if not this show, if not. But it sucks if you've got 5 of those, like, man, I got these 5 animals. They're all $3,000. I'm going to go to the show and make $15,000. Probably not. In Kansas City or not.
Yeah.
But if you have those and you have other stuff, this other stuff is going to make your show for you a lot of times. And then you're going to sell these on the occasion, and it's going to make your show really good, right? Yeah. It's going to push that show up where you're getting into that 4-digit range. That's the goal.
And that one snake he brought there, I guarantee you brought more people to the table than anything else he had on that table.
Does that too.
Because I even stopped and was like, oh my God, that's a sunset. I have never seen one in person. I haven't seen one at shows. Even seeing that 66% het that one guy had. That's the first het any sunset I've seen at an expo.
Okay. I think I have, believe it or not, a few years back.
Really?
Yeah. But it was at Florida. I believe they had some.
Oh. So
but you were going
to... In the area, this first het sunset I've seen. And
it wasn't a brand new baby.
No, it was a well started. I would say he was probably 250, 300 grams.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, the colors were better than I anticipated.
Yeah.
In person, they aren't as, because a big knock on Sunset's been as it ages, turns to shit.
Yeah, I was actually really impressed with it.
In person, it didn't turn to shit near as bad. It was pretty good looking. Pretty
it was. I think Mojave's the wrong choice for it, but it still looked pretty good.
As a matter of fact,
NT Yellow Belly might have
I
been.
kind of started eyeing for some hets because I thought, man, Kurt would really like if I was some het Sunsets. I'm not as against it now seeing one in person.
Yeah, so kudos to that guy. I don't remember his name, and I do apologize if you are watching the video, but that Sunset was phenomenal.
And the trick is, guys, if you have those kind of snakes that you're trying to move and don't do it in just one spot. Do it at shows and do it online. Yeah. I'm sure he is.
Oh,
you know? And you'll get it moved. But if you bank on just that snake selling, that's where you're going to run into problems. In my opinion,
I agree.
You got to have that variety. But you have that there, it catches it, and you got 4 bells. You're going to sell those 4 bells. One day you're going to sell it, but it's just going to take maybe a few shows to go to get it done. So that was your deal today, price-wise.
Price-wise.
What was your, holy shit, this is going for way more than Morph Market Morph?
And so I'm gonna say this one, and I'm still doing some research on this one. I don't know why it was labeled this, but I'm gonna say this one was a pied. It had like an abbreviation and then pied. None of the abbreviations were the start of a letter of any morph or anything like that on Morph Market.
None of it made fucking sense.
It didn't make any sense, but it was a gorgeous pied, like super bright, almost a washed out yellow, just highlighter yellow. Something was in there. It went like $4,000 for it. But I have no idea what to compare that to because and then the guy, I don't know where he was. I get it, shows are long. So he was probably in the restroom or something. So I didn't get a chance to ask what that was, but
people do have to pee.
That was crazy. I seen some ivories that were like in the $3,000 range, and it wasn't really sure of what all was in it. Me personally, not the ones you're thinking of.
Because one thing with a lot of freeway combos that had just a bunch of G's that kind of turn white.
Yes.
Okay.
Not
those.
No, because that one I'm not going to give him fault for that because he wasn't sure there was a lot of things in there and was doing something crazy. No.
Yeah.
There was a table on the
far
other side.
Okay.
By where we got the cool animal, and
cool animal.
It was like there was like 4 or 5 genes in there, but then it was like a plus because it could have been some. So maybe my problem with that is being an ivory, the only ones he could guarantee were the pastel and the inchy. I don't know if I want to pay $4,000 or $5,000
for a possibility.
And the other kickers were like leopard. Nothing that really to me felt like it added up to 1,000. No supers, no other than the ivory.
Sometimes too, though, I've done this. You go to a show, right? And you got a snake you want to show off, and you don't really want to sell it.
And that's true, too.
You put it in there, and you write some outrageous bullshit on it, and you know it ain't going to sell. But people go, oh my God, that was $10,000. Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, but shit, if someone pays it, though, then I'm ready to move it.
Yeah, then I'm like, what? I'll cry later, but I'm going to eat steak, too, so it's cool.
Yeah.
The kind of point of this is, when you go to that show, it's a micro market, right? It's going to be different than the large online market. There's advantages and disadvantages. One of the advantages is obviously that you can see the animal in person. You can talk to the breeder in person. You can feel that out a lot better than you ever will be able to online. You can look at exactly what you're getting. You know it's not edited. You know it's not enhanced. You know it's not a scam. It's there in front of your face. I love that aspect about a show. Some of the disadvantages are you are limited. I don't care if it's Kansas City. I don't care if it's Wichita, Kansas. I don't care if it's Daytona Beach, Florida, or even Tinley. You may not be able to find exactly what you're looking for that you could find online. You can't just type in, I want these 5 genes and have it shit something out like you can on Morph Market. That is a disadvantage. You're also, could be an advantage or could be a disadvantage, is you're dealing with that micro market. I can sell things here. I don't have to follow up the Morph Market price. Sometimes it's cheaper, sometimes it's higher. We found our local show was pretty kind of close to it.
Pretty similar, yeah.
Some of the things I didn't see that I hope to see was I hope to see more acid.
Yeah.
I found one, but it was a female, which wasn't what I was looking for.
It was like het for pied.
I think so. It was cool.
It was cool.
But it wasn't exactly what I was looking for.
Yep. You're right. There wasn't a lot. There was no acid, really.
There was only acid.
Yeah.
Things I was surprised to find were twofold. You already mentioned one of them. And that was the sunset.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The other thing I was surprised to find, and it was only at one table, And that was Simon T's Reptiles. T. Simon Reptiles. Screw that up. T. Simon. I'm having a day, guys. I'm really tired. And that was the Sentinels, which we bought one.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like a Sentinel. He had 2 straight male Sentinels.
Yep.
He had a female Sentinel.
Yep.
I think there was some Sentinel combos in there.
Yes.
You know what he didn't have?
Any hits.
No fucking clown. He has a rule.
Yeah.
No fucking clown.
He does have that rule.
I like him. I am totally
does.
like him. Because everybody's got it. So I kind of like seeing different. I don't want to... You know, you can say, like, well, why are you looking at ball pythons? Because you go to a show, it's like, oh, there's ball pythons. There's ball pythons. There's ball pythons. That's the show anymore, right? Oh, there's a carpet. Oh, there's ball pythons. But when you go, it's like, oh, there's ball pythons and all of them are clowns. Oh, there's ball pythons and all of them are clowns. It's kind of feeling that way online. And when you see the Facebook and all that. So when you got a guy who has a big table, a big spread, and a lot of really nice stuff.
He did.
And there ain't a clown in sight. I'm like, I like this. It's a lot of variety.
There's one table that Curtis would have absolutely loved because half their stuff was Super Orange Dream combos.
Oh, yeah. There was that.
Yeah.
You know, but
it was phenomenal.
all in all, I would say I was impressed with the variety.
Yeah.
You know, and I love the personal aspect. You know, we got to hang out with a lot of people we don't get to hang out with very often. We got to meet a lot of people, rekindle a lot of relationships we had in the past. We got to hang out with Steve from A Reptile I Am.
Yeah, we did.
And what you guys see on that Facebook page on there is exactly what you get.
Yeah, you do.
That is Steve. Super high energy, bounce off the walls, and all positive, man. I love that dude.
And fair warning, if you hang out with him, he may or may not kiss you out of the blue.
Well, and let me tell you something. So, he did kiss Caleb.
He did.
Right on the cheek. And Caleb also came home with crabs. Just going to put that out there, guys, right now. And that's how we're going to end this video. Unless you got anything else you want to add, Crab Boy.
I hate you so much.
Kurt, anything you want to add? All right, well, me and Caleb's and his crabs are going to go to Patreon and show you the other animal. It'll all come full circle and make sense because that Caleb has crabs was actually a hint. So we will see you all next time.